of their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi guys, and welcome to the...
I'm like, are we on?
I was like, whoa, that's a little weird. Hi guys, welcome to this week's Ranch Roundup. My name's Mike.
I'm Erin.
And we do this every week right here on the Beyond the Ranch channel, where we get a chance to take a look behind the scenes, a little bit at our lives and what happens around the ranch and around farms around the world right this time of season, as spring is moving in and trying to invade the world. Not so much today though. I thought it was supposed to be a lot nicer today than what it turned out to be.
I thought so. It was supposed to be nicer than it ended up being. Yeah, it was cloudy, foggy,
right?
Cold.
Very cold. Yeah, and if we have a little bit of an audio issue, let me know, because we're trying to figure this out soon. But anyway, everything's set. Now we have no audio. Well, okay. I got people telling me audio is okay. People telling me audio is not okay. But I think we're doing. I think we're okay. So.
Audio is off.
Audio is off.
Like there's a delay, Matt?
So we're actually trying out a new system here, so.
Sounds quieter than normal.
Sounds quieter than normal. Okay, well that we can turn up a little bit. We can try to make that a little bit louder. So we just play with some settings here. So anyway, only half of an audio. Maybe that's because we're just in mono, I don't know. That's an interesting problem. Okay. Anyway, we're just going to roll with this. We'll see what happens and play around with it. And then Matt's saying we have an echo. This is nice.
Are we in mono? Can you turn it to stereo?
From what my end, it looks like we're in mono, because we're only on one side of that channel. Yeah. So for some reason we are in mono. I don't know why that is. That's very weird. Do not know what's up with that, but anyway.
Yeah, every time you test this, like we got a new system, like you test it beforehand, but of course every time we go that first live, there's always something. There's always some sort of issue, yeah. And people, we are right. We are actually in mono instead of stereo right now, but just pretend, listen out of one ear. Maybe that'll help. So. Anyway, thanks for coming and hanging out with us this evening, guys. Don Chappell, Bingalator here with us. Of course, Michael Outdoors and all of our usual crew, including our moderators, Matt Fensel, Lori Habel. William Dunn is here floating around somewhere. I saw him. So thank you guys for coming and keeping us all in line. And maybe not in both ears, but in line. So thank you very much for doing that. Matt said the echo was on his end. So thanks, Matt.
Oh, yeah. See, that's one thing that you always have to deal with, too, when we switch systems is, then everybody's got their own issues on their end. So everybody's like, oh, the audio's not working. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to turn it up. And then we're going, oh my gosh, it's not working. And that's one of the problems. We don't have like a producer sitting back here in the background with headphones on and making sure everything sounds okay. So it's kind of a weird system. As we get used to things, we'll hammer out some problems and stuff like that. But I can turn it up just a little bit more if anybody's having a problem with that. But anyway, so this week we had a little taste of spring. Today, I don't even know if it got above 30 today. Did it?
No, it was supposed to get up to like 38, and I didn't put row cover on the high tunnel crops and stuff last night, and it was supposed to be like in the 40s, and then we woke up this morning, and then it was like 29, and like I think was supposed to like warm up later in the day, and it did not. It was 31. We just went and put row cover back on the crops. In the high tunnel, it was 40 or 50 degrees all day. We checked it a couple times, but it was not 38 degrees and sunshine like they were forecasting for us, unfortunately.
There you go. So. I just fixed the audio, by the way. And now you're hearing us out of both ears. There's a little tiny. So in the audio input, nobody cares about this, but I'm kind of a nerd. So in the audio input, there's a little L, and then there's a little R.
Oh, you have to click
and you
both.
have to turn both of those on. Instead of, you would think it would just be like turn on the sound. But no, they got to make it more difficult than what it really is. So if the audio's a little hot now, that's probably because I turned it up earlier, and now if it's a little bit too loud, be sure to let me know. But yeah, we're playing around with things here and making things work. So we are using a new system. This is called Live Studio 6 that we're using. One of the reasons we changed is because we got a different camera that was loaned to us to try out. Also, one of the interesting things that we can do with this program is we can have a producer remotely produce for us. So
we don't have that.
We don't have that. But eventually, maybe someday, we can have somebody who's actually sitting at a computer in Iceland listening to us and making sure that we sound okay, and making sure that both the L and the R is pushed.
Yeah, I mean,
and if
once
it's not,
you get
then it's their fault.
Once you get the settings set up, like, we still need to adjust some of the lighting, like we were messing with that a little bit. But yeah, once we get the settings set where we like them, we're usually pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. One of the other cool things that we can do with this camera is you can actually, since I'm talking, I'll put the camera over here. So you can move the camera around with just a single camera. So this is kind of a cool deal. So we can talk, we can move the camera around, I can swing it around to Erin. You don't care, really, but it's fun anyway. I'll probably end up leaving the camera right there most of the time. Unless you have something really important that you want to say and you're going to talk for a long amount of time, then I'll put the camera on you. All right. So anyway, then I can move the camera around like that too, which is funky zoom thing. So anyway, very cool super chat came in long before we even started. Dr. Dixon with a $5 super chat there, or $500 super chat. Sorry about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
$5. $5. Dr. Dixon is an interesting situation here because I think he's making an attempt to pay Blonde Cow's way, which is great, and it makes Blonde Cow very, very grateful, especially considering that Dr. Dixon is Blonde Cow's sugar daddy now.
That's a tiny bit offensive.
Slightly. But she follows it up with, "I love you, Dr. Dixon," and then, of course, she wants to go home with Dr. Dixon. And I think that, whoa, what did I do? Okay, I killed the video now. Isn't this just grand? So doing that killed the video somehow. Okay, attempting to reconnect, it says. This is just beautiful, isn't it?
Dr. Dixon says it's not offensive. Thank you very much, Dr. Dixon, for your continued support of the channel.
Yeah, we're still here, by the way. A little bit of a...
Yeah, Sheila, we're reconnecting.
We're reconnecting. This is weird. Unable to connect. Did our internet go down? What happened here?
Give us a moment, and
give us just a moment. We'll figure it out. It's like bloopers live kind of thing happening around here. Bloopers live, is that a thing? I don't know. Just because
audio's great.
Audio sounds great. We're going to go back to this picture just because it gives you guys something to look at while we're trying to figure this out. You could talk about something while I'm technical. What is this called? Troubleshooting. That's what I'm doing. I'm troubleshooting something. Hey, there we are.
Are we back? Almost.
Almost back. And we're back. Look at that, amazingly enough. Okay, so Alea Marie asked, what's in the cups today? I think, I don't know what you're drinking. Coffee?
Just coffee.
Yeah, and I've got whiskey and 7-Up.
So the next time you play another video, is it going to do that again?
I don't know. We will find out. 95% of this is probably operator error. Like, I probably pushed the wrong button, which then disconnected that camera and put up the Dr. Dixon thing, and then everything just went to hell after that. And it's just like a snowball effect falling down.
Your fault. So we'll go with that.
We do have some more stuff on the way for you. As we move into spring, or hopefully move into spring, we can take a look at what we have coming up this spring, and that spring fever. Has the spring fever got a hold of you yet, or are you still resistant to the whole thing?
Obviously today's daylight savings time. It's a weird day.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I could have talked about that. Yeah.
And now the weather is.
Oh, this is very annoying.
Now we had spring kind of last week. It's gonna cool off again and not be as warm for the next few days. So that's kind of frustrating. But yeah, I'm enjoying the warm weather. It's been pretty muddy. And thaw-y. That's a word.
Hey, who wants to look at the peacocks while we try to fix this problem again?
Thank you, JB Weld, for the $20 super chat. I can only afford to support a barn cat. Kittler needs love too. Yeah, Kittler's moved her butt into the house, so she's a house cat now.
Yeah.
Not a barn cat.
Dang
So
cats.
do you guys like daylight savings time? That's a big, Wyoming legislature is proposing that we stay on daylight savings time permanently. I saw a few other U.S. senators have said we should just stay on daylight savings time permanently. JB Weld wants a refund for his super chat.
I know, right?
So, I would prefer that we just stay on one. I would prefer daylight savings time, not standard time.
True. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. So here's our problem: is our camera, the battery's dead. So that's our problem. So it keeps on trying to reconnect, and then the battery dies again. So.
Where's that other battery thing you got?
I don't know where I put it. I'm looking for it. Okay. Isn't this exciting stuff?
If we didn't have daylight savings time in Wyoming in the summertime, where we're at, the sun would come up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I would prefer, to just stay on daylight savings time. But yeah, either or. Can we just pick one and can we just stay on it? That part would be nice too. I think springing forward bothers me more than falling back. What about you, Mike?
Actually, it really hasn't bothered me too much today.
Well, because it's cloudy. I think
Is that
tomorrow,
what you think it is?
Yeah.
If the sun was shining, I would be in more trouble.
Well, the sun was shining a little bit this afternoon, and the kids, we don't ever really tell the kids about daylight savings time.
So yeah, they were confused this morning.
But tonight at dinner time, they were all like, "Why are we eating dinner already?"
Yeah, they were like,
Now
"What is going on? This is craziness."
All right, so Mike has got the extra battery hooked on, but now.
Now what?
Now you're just super tall.
Yeah. So.
Now we just have the. I can't see it though.
I know it's not connected yet. Okay.
We're getting there, guys.
We're getting there. Sorry. Again, it's always fun stuff. Okay, where'd I put my?
I don't know where you put your phone.
I need my phone.
Did you take it with you?
Probably.
Yeah, the peacocks are doing good. They're just hanging out underneath their heat lamp most of the time.
Where did I put my? Oh, there it is.
It's right there.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back with you in just a second. Erin's going to talk about peacocks for a second.
They're doing good. What's really going on while the camera is off? Mike's running around trying to figure stuff out and lost his phone in the process. And a tripod was adjusted.
Yeah, nothing exciting, guys, trust me. Nothing fishy going on here, that's for sure.
Yeah. I just like the peacocks, Miriam. That is all.
Keep answering questions, you're doing great.
Egg production, Michael Outdoors. It's exceptionally well. I washed a bunch of eggs today. Sometimes we get behind on. Oh, see, we're too tall now.
I'm working on it.
Now we're gonna adjust the camera on our end real quick, and then yeah, we have 2 peahens and a peacock. So egg production is really good. I got eggs yesterday and caught up on the washing today. Often we'll get the eggs and I'll just throw them in the fridge and then I'll wash them once or twice a week. So I washed all the eggs that were in the fridge as of yesterday. And then I washed those today, and then Mike went and got today's eggs, and we had another 32 eggs today.
32 eggs today.
32 eggs today.
That
Push the right button.
I'm pushing the wrong button all over the place.
We're almost back, guys.
Nope.
No.
Trying. Hey, there we go.
Make this screen go over there. Hey, we're
guys,
back.
We're back, and we have some battery life. All right. Sorry about that.
See, it was all
my
that
camera's
camera.
all messed up now.
Yeah, it is messed up. I told you it was crooked.
Well, you didn't tell me how to fix it.
It's fine. No, other way. They could see us.
Okay, I'm back. Alrighty, look at that. Picture and everything. All right, what's the best advice for somebody who's moved from city life to farm life?
Then we have a couple super chats.
And we have a couple super chats we're gonna get to here in a moment. Do you have any advice? I don't know.
You will work every single day of your life for the rest of your life.
That's not really advice. That's more like a
I
dire
mean, but that's
warning.
that's like the biggest adjustment, though. I mean, depends if you're farming and what you're farming, if you're ranching, if you have livestock. I mean, so there's some variables in that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think my general advice is like be prepared to work harder than you have ever worked in your entire life.
My advice would be to learn everything that you
Yeah.
can learn, because you're going to have to save money everywhere you can. So if
Yeah.
you can figure out how to do plumbing and how to work with copper pipe and how to solder copper pipe, learn how to do that. Practice, because you're going to end up doing it eventually. So that would be my advice, because you're going to want to save money as much as you
Yeah.
can, because living in the country or going from any type of life to any other type of life is going to be expensive. So save as much money as you can. So there you go. All right, what super chats did I miss?
A $20 one from Owl ID Check. I do not want this camera in the guard shack. Yeah, we would.
This camera is actually, I think it's a relatively good camera. I think it's just, most of this is operator error. Like, I took off, so it has this ginormous battery pack that goes on it. And I was like, I'll take off the battery pack and I'll plug in the camera. So that way it's charging
Obviously
constantly.
doesn't do that.
Doesn't work that way, apparently. So you have to have the battery pack on. So there you go. There's one thought. We're learning as we go here. And this will actually, I don't know if anybody can tell any difference visually.
No, it's overexposed.
That's because we got up here 2 minutes before we went live, and
You
had to.
days to mess with this, and
But
I know you
but
have
I
been
need
messing.
you sitting up here to
Why?
do
You can sit here and mess with
I
it.
can't tell the color. You have to do the color stuff. I'm like, hey, look, it's me. That's all I really care about.
You've been messing around with it for days. It still doesn't work.
It's working. Look at us go.
JB Weld, $10. Any cows close to calving?
That's a darn good question. What do you say we go?
Oh
and
gosh, you're gonna try and do something.
I'm going to try to do something. What do you say we go try to check the cows? All right, you're with me. Let's go check some cows. Come on, what are you waiting for? Y'all settled in? Ready to go? All right, so this time of year, I'm not really expecting too much. We're pretty early to really start calving anything at this point, but it's a good time to kind of get into that groove where you're going out and checking just a few times a day and just making sure that everybody looks okay. So basically what we do is we just kind of go around, we just check on all the cows. We've got about 111 cows out here right now, so we'll take a look at each and every one and just make sure that everyone's okay. And what we're really looking for is any cows that are off by themselves. So just take a look around. If you see anything that looks a little weird or a little goofy, just give me a holler. That way. Look that way. Don't stare at me. So the barn right now here in the spring, this is someplace we don't want cows to have a calf. And in fact, once the weather warms up even just a little bit more, we'll actually lock them out of this little 3-acre pasture here. we won't let them come in here to have a calf, just because the barn is so muddy that any calf that would be born up in there wouldn't be able to make it. So this is where I fed this morning, up into this area, and most of the cows, as you can tell, are still up here. There are a few that we just drove by that are going back to hang out at the barn or hide out from the weather. It's only about 27 degrees out here this morning, so it is still a little bit cool for these cows, but they don't seem to mind. And again, this time of year, it's not we're not really too worried about anything crazy happening, but one of these cows is going to be the first cow to have a calf this spring. So we're going to try to make sure that we check those cows that we know are calving early, and we'll make sure that they look okay too. So there's this cow over here laying down by herself. Now, she's not far enough away from the herd for us to really be worried about her, but she's obviously pretty relaxed and full, and she doesn't care much. Happy to be here. I don't see any cows out separating themselves, and these guys are just finishing up breakfast. Not much food left out here. One thing I do like to do is head up to a high point and just take a little look around each time I'm out, just to make sure that no cows are wandering off thinking about doing anything fishy. Up from this vantage point, you can actually see quite a bit. You see all the cows are located over there, where they all tend to be hanging out, but there is one little hiding spot over here where sometimes you can catch a cow trying to get a little privacy. And luckily for us, there's nobody over here on this side right now. So overall, pretty uneventful today. We still have quite a ways to go, obviously. We're going to do this up to 5 times a day for the next, 60 days? For a total of 300 times, probably more than likely. We always have to stop and say hi to Bambi, though. Hi, Bambi. I don't have anything. Sorry. I didn't bring any food. Sorry. We'll see you next time. It's always nice to end the day, or at least end a check with Bambi. It seems to happen more often than not, but like I'll get done and she's just waiting there at the gate. She's like, I know, she knows where I'm going. She
checks that red gate frequently, because if
Many
you leave
times
it
per day.
if you leave it open, she can come up and get extra food if there's if the tractor's out and there's some hay on the spooler, or I mean, there's some bales up by the house. So
yeah, exactly. I'll address the net wrap issue. Net wrap that is stuck out in the field is actually literally stuck in the field. It's still frozen down. So so what happens is a lot of times you'll end up with pieces of net wrap and stuff that get inside a bale for some weird reason. We end up up with like net wrap inside a bale. Or you cut off the net wrap, you don't get every little last bit of it. So then you roll out the bale. The cows really don't eat it, but it does get trampled into the snow and then it freezes down. So
I know when I was feeding when you were at World Egg Expo, like it largely, and you're better at it than I am obviously, but it depends on where you grab the bale with the spooler, because like I had one where the bale was tight up against the front bar of the spooler, so I couldn't get, I had to spool the bale. I could not pull the net wrap through. And then one time too, I couldn't pull it out from underneath because the bale, like I didn't put it enough in the center, and so the bale was kind of just dragging on the ground, and so like I couldn't get it out. Like I had to spool. And like I did try and come back and pick it up like after I spooled, but yeah, if there's a bunch of cows around and
standing on it.
Standing
I don't know
on
how many
it.
times I went and tried to pick up a piece of net wrap that's stuck down, and the cows are standing on it. And then a lot of times what I end up doing is going out and I'll cut it off as it goes. So the more it thaws, the more I cut off, you know, kind of thing, which, you know, it happens. There's a few spots out there, and I'm not embarrassed about it. I think it's part of that real thing that happens. So I think a lot of people, I actually literally, this is a funny story, and hopefully he's not watching, which I very much doubt he is, but I had somebody stop one time, and this was long before YouTube. It was like our second or third year here, and somebody stopped and like yelled at me about net wrap being in the field. And, you know, honestly, like, first of all, at that point, I was just like, okay, like, you know, I mean, what's it gonna do? But yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing with the net wrap. Some people.
In a perfect world.
And then washing the windows on the gator. If in a perfect world, if Bambi didn't walk up to the gator every time I went out and lick the window, it'd probably be a lot cleaner. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of mud, but it's muddy right now, and
Yeah.
so yes, you do need to wash the windows on the gator.
I do.
The whole gator needs washed in reality.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just real life. Like you're not running the gator through a car wash every day so that you can take
God, I wish I could.
video.
I wish I had a car wash I could run it through. I would be like, let's just drive through the car wash every day. That'd be fun. Yeah, I'd do it. All right, let's take a few questions as we're cruising right along in time here. James Faulkner, how are the wheels in the Bobcat going? Do you have any back problems? It still shakes you, rattles and rolls you a little bit, but I have noticed that the warmer it is, the better it is. So the other day and I didn't drive it, but I walked by it in the shop, and it was warm enough that it was flexing on all four tires. So it was sitting down on all four tires, which then made, you know, it would have made the ride better. I didn't jump in it and drive it around though. I do have about 18 different projects that I need to use the Bobcat for, so I'm sure I'll be out using it quite often.
Yeah.
And I did send an email to Michelin today and said, hey, they make wheels for the Gator, right? Any chance those could fall off a truck somewhere around here? That'd be kind of nice.
Kids are great at gator washing. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say that our kids would not be great at gator washing.
Kenzie would just steal the gator and take off driving around. I did give her the opportunity. So if you follow us on Facebook, you've seen what I'm going to show you already. But I gave Kenzie the chance to come out and check cows with me here, a couple days ago.
Saturday.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie, and today we're on calf patrol for brand new babies. The things that we're on the lookout for are afterbirths, cows by themselves, and brand new calves with no tag. Why can't you have your babies now? What? I want them to have them. Princess Bliss, cow butt.
I love that. As we're driving along, Mackenzie's like, cow butt, cow butt, cow butt. And I told her that and right before that I said, you know, that we come out and we look at a lot of cow butts, you know,
Yeah.
and she was, you know.
I love how excited all the kids get for calving, and they'll often go with you to check calves and stuff, especially when they get home from school and stuff. Like they do like to go out and look for new babies and stuff. All three of them do. Lincoln, last year you could not take him with, because if you had to take a calf, he would freak out.
He freaked out. He might do that again this
Yeah.
year. We don't know. it's the first calf that I had to tag, and Lincoln was in the gator. Yeah, he had a complete conniption about it.
And we tried to like work him through it, and you tried to take him with more, and like we tried to talk to him about like, hey, you got to be calm and you need to be quiet while Dad's trying.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that he was freaking out. He can freak out all he wants, but like that then in turn made the cow really nervous to hear a screaming child.
He's loud.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, he's a year older. He'll be 5 in June now. So we'll see how he handles calving.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but the girls like to go with. I mean, for a few weeks.
Yeah, and then it kind of the newness kind of wears off a bit. William Fisher asked if the pigs have gone to market. They have not. We work with Sturgis Meats, which we've kind of caused our own problems there, and some of those problems we've caused because of beef jerky. So we're keeping them busy enough with beef jerky that they can't get our pigs in. It's not only us, but I mean it's an issue that's now.
They're super busy. I mean, they're one of the only federal processing plants here, like in this area. I called in January to get a processing date for pigs and steers, and the pigs I wanted to take like January or February. No, we can get you in the end of March.
Yeah.
And so then I think I hung up the phone. I was like, well, crap. And then I called back like 5 minutes later. I was like, well, I guess I need to schedule my steers too. They weren't ready yet, but going to be ready. I think 25th and 30th. I think pigs go first.
Yeah. So if you happen to live in the Sturgis area and you'd like to go grab some lunch on the 24th and the 25th. I don't remember what days it is now. Let me know. Send me an email. David Miller asked, do you feed at night to increase the numbers that calve during the day? I've been doing it for 45 years, and I don't go check them until 4 a.m. I've seen there's a ton of studies out there about this, and it does show. I mean, if the studies are correct, which I have no doubt that they are, I don't see why somebody would. There's nothing to gain by fudging a study about this. But the later in the day that you feed, the basically there's some sort of correlation between the time that you feed and the times that cows are going to calve. A lot of people will feed later on in the day, and then they have more calves during the day, which is great. The problem that I have with it, and I totally agree with the thought behind it and everything else, and it works, that's fine. But that doesn't mean every single cow is going to calve during the day. You're still going to have a cow that's going to calve at night. So, you still have to go check at night, because I'm not willing to bet a calf's life on the fact that this study is 100% correct. So, I feed pretty much whenever the heck I go out there. I mean, I don't have like a really set. I've had a lot of people ask, they're watching the webcam. That's not the webcam. That died. Whatever I was trying to do there, that didn't work. Oh, now it's back. Let's see if it works this time. Nope. Okay, so so the webcam, people try to catch me feeding on the webcam, so they'll say, hey, what time do you feed?
Well, it largely depends what we have going on.
Yeah, it really depends on what's happening that day. So, sometimes
it's 8 o'clock, sometimes it's 7
noon,
o'clock, sometimes it's 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on what's going on. So, I believe in the study. I think it's great. I just don't think that I can.
I think it would depend.
I can bank on that.
If our weather conditions were different, like that's most of the time when you have to do more night checks, when you have to check
the weather is
every
really crappy,
2 hours is when it's blizzarding or it's below 0. If it's above freezing, you'll check every 4 to 6 hours.
Right.
Unless you're calving heifers or something, then you'll check every 2. But if it's really dependent upon the weather. So a lot of times you'll go out and you'll do a late like a 10 o'clock check, like a right before you go to bed check, and then you'll sleep till like 4.
Yeah.
And so you get a good chunk of sleep there, and then it's.
It really does depend on the weather. It depends on the temperature, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Unless it's blizzarding, and you might as well just stay out with them.
Yeah, there's been days that has happened too. So, Sky King asked if you've got coyotes. I saw a coyote just the other day tootling along through the pasture. So
can you take care of that, please?
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, that's gonna.
I got chickens, man.
Yeah, I know. We got chickens and peacocks and everything else. That's gonna be trouble. Trader Joe's asked about the garden prep. How's gardening going?
It's going good. I saw some questions about microgreens. I'm actually probably gonna do my first microgreen harvest this week.
Wow.
Yeah, so everything's going good. I wish I would like some more sunshine, and I'd like our warmth to continue, because things are trying to grow in the high tunnel. It's just being really slow, and cold, cloudy weather doesn't help that. But I mean, everything's going well. So I should be starting some of our summer crops here soon, working on cleaning out the high tunnel for summer. I actually open up the doors. I'm going to let it freeze. I've got some aphids in there with some of our winter crops because I flipped high tunnels this year. So the high tunnel that we're growing in right now was our summer tunnel. So where I did all my fall planting, that stuff's all like dead. I harvested what I needed to harvest. We got some aphids, so I'm letting it freeze, and then we'll start prepping soil and stuff for summer. I'll start my peppers and tomato seeds here next week or so. So yeah, I mean, we're on our way.
Yeah, how's the grow room working for you?
It's good. You threw a bunch of junk in there today. Not junk.
Not junk. It was her stuff.
All my bins and tubs
Yeah.
and stuff that I use in the summertime. You were cleaning the shop some, and I walked in there and I was like, what do I do with
This
those?
is yours.
But it's my stuff.
You deal with it.
Yeah, I just and I a few things I need to tweak. A few things in the grow room. I need the shelves. I was going to ask you this the other night, and I forgot to ask you. The shelves came with wheels, right?
Yeah.
I need those on.
Really?
I do, yeah.
I didn't think you'd need the wheel.
I do.
I thought the shelves were semi-permanent.
No, and the reason why, like, it's just there's a lot of dirt and stuff that falls down, and I want to keep that space because of growing microgreens and stuff. Like, I want to keep the space as clean as possible, and so.
I have a shop vac. That's a lot easier to roll in than put wheels on
No,
those.
we're putting the wheels on. And
Does anybody want to come put the wheels on?
And I decided I need more lights, so I'm going to run 2 lights per shelf and stuff. So I need to order some more lights, and I need more trays. But like, it's working really well. I really enjoy the grow room. It's just, it's really nice.
We just added, if anybody's interested in doing their own type of grow room, we added to our Amazon affiliate store a section that's just on the grow room and everything that you needed in order to get that, which actually works out really well for you because then you can just go back there and order what you need.
I can order it through our affiliate link, and Edible Prairie Project is now set up on Amazon Smile, so I can use both of those, and I can contribute to Edible Prairie Project and through our affiliate link, so I can double dip every time I need to buy trays.
Exactly. If you do order stuff on Amazon and you would like to participate in the Amazon Smile program, how do you do that?
You go, smile.amazon.com, I think. I don't know. If you Google Amazon Smile, it'll ask you which charity you want to support. You can type in Edible Prairie Project if you so choose. And then you can, certain purchases are eligible. You have to always start your homepage with Amazon Smile. You can't just go to amazon.com, and it doesn't work on mobile.
I think I figured out the same thing with the affiliate stuff. Doesn't work on mobile too. So
some of it's just not, I don't know, it's just complicated. I don't know why Amazon can't make it more simple, but so I changed our bookmark though to Amazon Smile's homepage. So
But if you'd like to, and also if you'd like to support our Wyoming Life, when you order on Amazon, you can go to amazon.com/shop/our Wyoming Life, and if you start there, even if you go buy toilet paper, then if there's any toilet paper left in the world, I don't know if there is or not, I think. But if there is, if you're ordering it through Amazon, you can actually help out the channel by ordering through there. It doesn't cost you an extra cent. You can do it right there at amazon.com/shop/our Wyoming Life. Pitch over. Moving on. Mike Krotz, $5 super chat from JB Weld, and JB Weld sending the question from, I love it when this happens, by the way, when somebody super chats so that somebody else's question gets noticed. Mike Krotz, who I've actually met, Mike actually came here and hunted. You met Mike. He hunted here on the ranch last year. Are you going to use the tail-mounted birth detector thingamajigger?
that's not what he said.
That's not what he said, but that's what I always say every time I look at it. The Moo Call is what it's called. I haven't actually used it since that first year when I used it on Bambi. The technology in it is pretty cool. You pay a subscription to it, and I don't even remember how much that thing costs per year to use it. The biggest problem that I've had with using it, especially with Angus cattle, is that you can put it on a cow, you bring her into the chute, you put it on her. Now you have to get it off somehow. So that's tricky. You got to bring that cow back in, which then is sometimes harder than not. I don't know.
I think if we were like we're not calving any first-time moms this year, so like I think if we were calving heifers and you were like, because they can be in labor for days, it seems like. So I think if you were calving heifers, it would be really nice, and I would say like activate the subscription and let's have it. The cows are pretty easy to calve, and I mean, we get rid of our problem ones. So. Yeah. Other than the ones that want to kill you afterwards. So you would not put a moo call on one of them.
Yeah, no doubt. Don Chappelle, I will come work for free. Cool, come put wheels on the shelves.
I will help you.
Are we really?
Yeah, and I need chains on all my lights. Like,
wait a minute, no, this is growing here. It's
I told you I needed those lights to be adjustable like 2 weeks ago. Right?
Yeah, I told my assistant, I don't know where he went. The armchair rancher is actually really not pulling his weight around here. He's been here for 2 weeks. He's not doing a damn thing.
Just a week.
Just a week, yeah.
JP Weld has a good idea. They should have GPS tracker and auto release. Yeah, that would be great.
That would be cool. Actually, they really do need GPS tracker on it because when I tried it on Bambi, Bambi rubbed it off. She didn't like it. So she kept on, she'd rub against the fence and she'd drop it. Well, and I had her in a corral, so I could find it pretty quick. It's bright green, whatever. Yeah. But if she was out in 400 acres, it would take a little while to find that darn thing. So the GPS tracker is not a bad idea.
And we had the very first moo call, like they've changed.
They probably have.
They've changed some stuff too about how it attaches and stuff. So yeah, of course it's gotten better.
You need one that just like, you can just sticky it on or something. Like Velcro, and then no, that wouldn't work. There's something to do with it.
We have no heifers calving this season.
Nope, none at all.
Not a one.
Henry, how much hay do you have left? That's a good question. We actually have more hay than I thought we would. We still have 2 truckloads to come in. These smaller bales throw me for a loop, right? So we usually have 5-foot bales. They weigh like 1,400 pounds a piece. We bought 4-foot bales, which actually, looking back, I probably wouldn't have bought 4-foot bales just because they're a pain in the butt.
Well, that's what we could get. They were cheap.
But they were cheap, and they were great.
And
it's great. I mean, they worked out great.
They're good hay.
They're good hay. It's just my spooler doesn't fit them. So expect a video coming at some point where I modify the spooler. But here's the problem. I still have 5-foot bales. So I have to have something that modifies and then like transforms back to what, for a 5-foot bale, and then and then now it's a 4-foot bale.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Something's going to happen. Either that or I'm going to figure out how to just roll them down a hill. I don't know. Something like that. But anyway, yeah, so that's the thing. But we do have a lot of the 4-foot bales left, but I figure so the 4-foot bales came in at like 800 pounds a piece or a little bit less. So every 4-foot bale is worth 3/4 or no.
Don't, no.
We won't do math. Never mind. Moving on.
JB Weld, a question from Erin. Mike, when are you cooking dinner for me?
I made hamburger helper last night. Bang! There you go. Look at that.
Was it last night?
I think it was last night because I ate the leftovers today.
No, not last night. My mom made us dinner last night.
Oh, yeah?
2 nights
Well, you've had 2 nights where you didn't have to make dinner. Look at you go.
2 nights and you've made dinner literally like a handful of times in the 12 years we've been married.
How many times have I bought dinner? That counts. When you're a guy, if you buy dinner, that should count as making dinner.
You know I have a job, right? So that money in the account,
you now have a job. You technically just started getting paid for your job.
I did just start getting paid.
No, actually, you've had a job the whole time with the farm store and everything else.
Yeah,
so,
I've had a job.
That's a job. Yeah.
No, thank you for making hamburger helper.
It was awesome. I'm really good at hamburger helper. That and TV dinners, I'm like that. What's that? Emerald with TV dinners, man. I'm like, bam, bam, bam. I can make the hell out of a TV dinner.
I made you stupid spaghetti tonight.
I like spaghetti. This is the problem with, if you're not married, JB Weld, listen up. If you're not married, I'm going to tell you a secret. When you get married, your wife is going to ask you, what do you want for dinner?
And she's going to tell you no.
You're right. So she's going to ask you, and then you're going to say something like, I would really like, you know what I really like is like a 7-layer lasagna. No, that's not going to happen. But then you try to make it easy. I'm going to say you try to make it easy. So you say, you know what, screw it. Grilled cheese is fine. Oh, I'm not making you a grilled cheese. So really, there's this magical middle ground. TV dinner is so 70s. I was born in the 70s, so yeah, it works for me. But there's like this middle ground that you have to figure out where it's at. So you can't ask for filet mignon.
You could say I would like steak. The thing is, when I ask you want...
You have to be general. That's the trick. Be general. So don't say spaghetti, because spaghetti is a giant pain in the ass. But say pasta. How about something with pasta? Or something Italian? And then this is where I figured it out. I just broke the code. I need to write this down. I just broke the code. You be very general about it. So you want steak? I'll have a steak. It might be a crap steak. Either way, it's still a steak, right? Did I figure it out?
So the problem
Are you mad because I broke the code?
No,
I
don't
broke the
care. No,
code.
if you say I want pasta, that's fine. The problem is when I ask you what you want for dinner, it's always like spaghetti, lasagna, that mac and cheese with all the cheeses. That costs $27 to make and takes me 4 hours.
Okay, see.
I appreciate you wanting to. You should be able to tell me what you want for dinner.
I should.
But
you
don't cook the food, and you always pick the most elaborate
which
pasta.
Which is funny because I'm really easy to cook for. I don't really give a crap what I get.
Yeah, but like, if I just open a jar of spaghetti sauce and boiled some noodles, fine. But like,
I actually like that. What's the Prego? Was that what it's called? Prego, the spaghetti sauce. I really like that with spaghetti. But if I bought that, you'd yell at me.
It's gross.
Yeah. See. Anyway.
You just don't cook the food, so I think you just don't understand what is a weeknight appropriate menu versus
Well, technically, you asked me this on Friday, so it would have been a weekend, because you did say, what would you like for dinner this weekend?
I made your stupid spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. All right. Moving right along. Long Ash Cowboy there with a super chat. I'm going to need an electric skillet in the guard shack so I can cook for you guys. Really, I think there's a fire code issue there or something.
Well, and there is no guard shack.
And, really, I mean, if I want to eat something with an ash in it, I mean, come on. Michael Outdoors, would you ever move the live stream to Saturday?
No one would come on Saturday, and we sometimes have a life.
Occasionally. We're not making spaghetti.
I mean, we've tried the weeknight thing. Sunday seems to be working pretty decently for us.
Yeah, we used to do what, Thursday?
Thursday.
And then we switched to Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that seems to be working. All right. One other thing that we have to get done tonight, and I'm going to do it right now before I forget. Earlier on in the week, we talked about the Airbnb, which nobody has booked yet. We have that available still, just to let you guys know that
somebody booked it, but for an unrelated, not through the channel.
No, yeah, totally not through the channel, but somebody did book it, which is nice. Yeah, it's still available. So if you are planning a trip up in this area, if you book it, that makes us feel good. See what I'm saying? So if you're like, I'm planning on coming in January of 2021, go ahead and book it. It's not going to hurt anything. It doesn't even cost you anything, I don't think, to book it. So, yeah, feel free. Anyway, the thing that we talked about in that video was Harvest Hosts. And Harvest Hosts is a company that we're working with. Very, very nice people there. And actually just a husband and a wife that put this company together. And what they do is they book people to, you can book stays in your RV for free at vineyards and farms and stuff like that. And really all that they ask is that you visit whatever store they may have or help them out on the farm or however that works. We have a farm store, so there's a great place to stop and fill up your freezer and stuff like that. So the folks...
We're not looking for help on the farm, on the ranch. I just want to make that clear. With the Airbnb and Harvest Host and stuff, like, we appreciate all you guys that say you want to come and work for free. That's not what we're doing right now. You can just stay in the house.
We're not in that. We're moving things through slowly.
So please, if you stay with Harvest Host or you stay in the farm store, please wander over to the farm store during our open hours.
Actually, we'll probably, if you're here on like a Sunday, we'll open special for you because Erin's going to be all about that. So anyway, we worked with the folks at Harvest Host. We ended up getting a 1-year subscription to Harvest Host.
It's a membership.
Membership. It's not a subscription. What's the difference?
Don't they call it a membership?
Is there a difference between a membership and a subscription?
Well, I think so.
Does anybody have a dictionary handy? Can anybody dictionary.com that? But anyway, we told them that we would give away a 1-year membership service to Harvest Host, and we have done that. And we want to congratulate Mark Pearson, who is hopefully here, but if he's not, I totally understand because I took a long time getting to this. Mark Pearson got himself a 1-year membership/subscription/service to Harvest hosts. So thank you very much, Mark, for playing along and watching our videos. And we hope to be able to do more with those guys in the future. So they seem to be really cool people.
We need to get a hold of you, Mark, so that we can.
We're going to comment on his comment and say, congratulations, you won. And hopefully he comes back and answers it. Otherwise, if he doesn't, then we're just going to give it to one of our friends. We'll pick somebody else, trust me.
Yeah,
So he has what, a week to claim it? I don't know, however that works. So, Mark, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Rocky Run Angus Ranch, do you guys keep back replacement heifers to breed and calve on the ranch?
Occasionally. Now, when Gilbert was alive, we did it every 2 years. It seemed
sometimes.
Like. It was like 25 heifers every 2 years.
We're always playing the gamble of how much money do we need this year versus how much money do we need long term.
We're hoping that with little things like Harvest Host and Airbnb and all this kind of stuff, we can actually set the ranch up to be in a position where we can do more of, you know.
It's real hard to keep back 25 heifers when like you got bills to pay and like you're running the numbers.
I think they probably understand totally.
It's hard.
I think everybody understands that. I mean, the last time we bought heifers in order to change to bring some more genetics in. We bought 45 heifers a couple of years ago, and 3 years ago?
No, before YouTube.
It was before YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've kept back like some for the kids, and I mean we've kept a few back here and there, but we haven't done like a big run of them. If calf prices would ever be decent too, like you know at $600 to $800 a calf, like I mean it's good because you're not losing a lot of money, but then also like we just need more money. So
that's nice.
I mean that's just the tricky gamble of you know. You gotta obviously pay the bills and make the ranch run, but maybe
what?
We've kind of talked about buying some short-term cows, buying some 6 or 7 year old cows for our herd. I don't like it when it's zoomed in on
You
me.
don't have to look at it.
I can see it. Do we get, Mike Kratz, do you get tri-tip out of your steers? Yeah, we can get whatever we want to out of our steers. So we, every time we process, we go through the cutting instructions. Sturgis is always like, do you guys just want the same cutting instructions? I'm like, no, let's go through it one more time. Yeah. And then I say, nope, I don't need this, or yes, I need more of this, or let's change the size on roast, or whatever. I always mess with it.
Why is that?
Well, it just depends what's selling. Like, I used to not be able to sell pork shoulder roast, so we had the last run all made into breakfast sausage, and then I had like 3 or 4 people come in and say, I want pork shoulder roast. So, I mean, yeah, and that's now, so we're getting close to processing again. So, like, I was looking through the freezers yesterday, or Friday, I restocked some meat, and it's like, what do we still have a lot of? What am I out of, and how to make that. I try to always have everything all the time, but like we run out of bacon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Henry was asking about the 100,000 subscriber plaque from YouTube, and wondering where we hung it. It's actually just over here to our right. The problem is, Henry, is that it's got a big mirror in it.
It's a mirror.
So we talked about putting it back here, but it caught the lights and had all kinds of reflection and weird stuff going on. So it kind of got moved out of the way. If you're going to be here for Ranch Roundup, we are planning on having it so people can get their picture taken with it at Ranch Roundup. I don't know why, but.
You just made that up right now.
Somebody asked me if we were going to have it. A lot of people have never seen one.
What if they steal it?
Then we chop off their hands. I don't know. Then we call YouTube and say, hey, we invited people to the ranch and somebody stole my plaque. Can I buy a new one? I mean, I'm sure they'd sell us a new one, probably. I don't know. Why would you think somebody would steal it?
I don't know.
What? I don't know. You're weird.
Why wouldn't somebody steal it?
Because it says Our Wyoming Life on it. Who would want that?
Everybody.
No. You barely want it.
No, it's fine. I mean, we just can't put it behind us because it is a giant mirror.
Yeah.
You'd see the TV and all the lights.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It would be awkward.
Rob,
I'm sure somebody would want it.
Maybe. I don't know. Rob asked, how are the kids' calves doing? The kids don't have any calves anymore. Actually, the kids now, they have all cows. I think, there isn't a heifer out there.
No.
They're all cows. So
Lincoln's got some 3-year-olds.
Yeah. So basically, one of our things that we talked about when we first started having kids was that we were going to take a calf a year and give it to the kids until each one of the kids had 5 cows of their own. And then that money actually goes into their college fund. So now the kids are all stocked up. We actually got a little bit ahead on Lincoln and gave him a couple in 1 year.
Yeah.
So that he could, have
so we can
the cows that he needs.
try and save the $500 million that they'll each need to go to college. So
$500 million. Pretty close though.
Our state college is projected to be like $30,000 a year by the time Mackenzie goes to college. When I graduated high school, granted it's been 20 years ago, it was like $8,000 to go to college. It is ridiculous, and I hope they go to trade school.
Jeez.
Just saying.
All right, you and Mike Rowe. Somebody asked how big the peacocks are. I really can't tell. I mean, so this is the peacocks. I don't even know. I was carrying one around the other day. They're not that heavy. I mean, they're relatively light. I mean, they're birds. So
they're like chickens with a long neck.
Yeah. I mean,
at this point.
Here they are out in the run, and
I mean, they're like a full-size chicken with a very long neck.
Mm-hmm. They're very.
I mean, once they're fully mature, they're substantially bigger than a chicken, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're bigger than a chicken. Yeah. You know what's impressive, though, is to see the peacocks fly. Because I think that people don't really realize that peacocks fly, and they'll fly up and they'll sit on the top of the buildings and that kind of stuff. They'll sit on your mom's roof.
Yeah, our old girl used to sit on mom's roof. She had a summer where that's where she would hang out, was on the garage roof of my mom's house.
Yeah.
These guys are still in their run and will continue to stay there for some time.
Until the coyotes are taken care of, probably.
Yeah. Well, and just, I mean, they've probably been there long enough now that they'd stay home and stuff, but we just want them, I mean, they're just going to stay in the run. So.
Exactly. Alrighty, guys, we're coming up on the end of things here. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them out there. We'd be more than happy to answer them. We are very thankful to everybody who got us with super chats tonight. Those are incredible, including Dr. Dixon and J.B. Weld, and of course, I think Long Ash Cowboy was in there with some super chats, and I think I missed another one, and I don't remember who it was. So it was a while ago. I'm looking. Our old reliables. These are the folks that if I ever need a buck, I know who to call.
And they won't steal this play button.
Yeah, exactly. Colton asked where the armchair rancher is. We've got him set up in the barn, so he's pretty laid back, ready to go. So.
Owl ID check was our other super chat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Rob asked again. Another question is: your calving season looking good weather-wise? Hopefully, no mud. We have mud no matter what. I mean, we get. It seems like here it melts so fast, and we don't have mud like people do down south and that kind of stuff.
No, we have mud.
We get a lot of mud just from it melts fast, and we get a lot of runoff. All the reservoirs are full, which is very nice. But there's a lot of mud. Cows, that's one of the reasons that we calve in 400 acres, because the cows are smart enough to get up out of the mud and kind of be a little bit. So I did. Remember the years that I tried to calve, in the triangle pasture, and it's this is going to be a great idea. We'll calve in this small area, and it just didn't really turn out well. It was too small. It was too muddy.
It's too wet.
It was too wet. So it puts more work on us having to go out and find calves.
Yeah.
But I think that giving the moms the option to have their calves wherever they feel safest to have them really does make a difference. Even though you still have that stupid cow that's going to have her calf in the creek bed or something like that.
And right now, it's hard to say what weather is going to be like for calving because we're still really 3 weeks. I mean, April 2nd is first due date.
First due date, yep.
So, I mean, you're doing an afternoon check. We could have one at any point. And there's not a lot of snow right now, but April, end of March, April is when we get our big, heavy, wet snowstorms where we'll get 12 to 24 inches dumped on us. And so there's no snow now, but we're May 22nd or 4th or something is our last frost date. So we're a long time from no snow still.
We got a ways.
And then asked do we sell a lot of eggs for Easter? No, not really, because nobody.
I guess I never thought about that. We could have an Easter promotion. Come buy these eggs. The bunny just laid them.
I know, but even when we dye eggs with our own kids, like I have to pick out the white ones. Like the brown ones don't really dye really well.
But we have blue eggs. They're already dyed.
They're already dyed.
That just saves you the trouble. Pre-dyed, chicken-dyed eggs.
Eggs are going to be on sale next week in the farm store because we have too many.
We have a lot of eggs.
So many eggs.
Those chickens are going crazy right now.
Well, last year when we opened the farm store in June, we had 11 chickens, which was not enough. Like I was always sold out of eggs. Now we have like 60 to 80 chickens, somewhere in that number, and most of them are less than a year old. So they are pumping out the eggs like crazy.
They are. They are. There's a $10 super chat from JB Weld. Are you guys on the Ogallala Aquifer? Looks like you could do a video about it. Yeah, we're on, actually, there's a few different aquifers around here, but that one does run deeper. Like our well for our house is only 35 feet deep, so there's a shallow aquifer that comes up from that. The next question actually right here about that I saw about irrigation falls right into that, with where if we wanted to irrigate, we would have to pump out of the aquifer, which then has to be, it's actually regulated by the state. If you irrigate more than an acre, you have to have state's permission, and they're not going to let us pump millions of gallons of water out of the aquifer, you know, to irrigate. So
yeah, we don't
that's
have
the problem
a river.
we run into.
We don't have a river to irrigate from.
Right.
So there is a little tiny, like there's a little bit of irrigation over by Rosette, like a small pivot. And then we don't see any irrigation until you get closer to South Dakota, and there is more river access.
One of the problems that we run into is because we're in coal mine areas, is those coal mines actually de-water. They pump water out of the aquifer so that they can...
You have to pump the water so you can mine the coal.
So you can mine the coal. So the state in this area is very, very conscious of water. So if we have coal mines that are pumping water out, they're not going to let us do it too, you know, kind of thing. We're not a coal mine.
No, and they use that water responsibly.
They do, of course. I mean, they're not like, you know, just flushing it down the toilet. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, even water that gets flushed down the toilet eventually returns to the earth.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we don't have hay pivots, though, is because they would be state regulated.
And we have really poor soil. So, you know, our 2 inches of topsoil is not going to hold water.
I don't know if we have 2 inches of topsoil.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, we just have bad soil. I mean, this is just, this is the prairie. It is what it is.
That it is. Do you guys still have the horses? This is from Lisa Taylor. Do they get any attention? They get attention all the time. Right now, they're enjoying living. Right now, they're with the steers, which they really like. I was watching. They were out there playing with steers the other day. I thought it was kind of funny. I should have got a video of it. But they were out there kind of jumping around with the steers and having fun. And
it's funny to watch them because they're with. So we keep back steers every year, but then we stagger when we finish them. So we've got like one group that's almost ready to go, and then we'll put another few on grain, so we're not finishing all of them like at one time. And then we've got this year's or last. They're yearlings. They're not ready to be on grain yet. And so we've got big steers and little steers and really fat steers. They're in a separate corral. But then you got the horses and stuff. And it's funny, like you'll see the horses and the steers. Sometimes they separate into groups, and like you'll see all the little ones and a horse. And then sometimes you'll see them with the big ones. And sometimes they're all together. And sometimes I see the horses off by themselves.
Yeah.
So.
It is what it
is.
But
they like to be with other animals. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Everything seems to be going pretty smooth with them anyway. Mark, asked if there's any breakdowns recently. Well, now you jinxed me. No, nothing there. So
I did ask you to get my little gator running, but now it's going to be cold again. So.
Yeah, we got to get that up and going. That's just a battery issue. And Patty asked if the girls have started their piano. We should have the girls do an online piano recital.
Oh, just Mackenzie would want to do that. Grace wouldn't.
So yeah, both Grace and Mackenzie are taking piano lessons. I think Kenzie likes it a little bit better than Grace does.
They started in January. We have a recital in May, middle of May. I think Kenzie will continue. Grace does not love it. She would quit now if I had let her.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to finish it out till May, and then she can decide what she wants to do, you know, after. We'll take a break for the summer, and then, yeah, we'll see. I won't force them to do anything, but we will force them to continue what they committed to.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I saw a couple questions rolling around back up here about the Model T. Model T is, well, it's still here. It hasn't been running all winter long, but it's sitting in the barn, and hopefully going to bring it out this spring. I actually need to get a tire for it, or at least a tube. I probably need a tire at this point, but we'll figure that out in the spring. So, did Lincoln start drum lessons? No.
So the thing is to like take toys and just throw them.
Maybe that's his drums.
Today he was just throwing crap around. It's like, what are you doing?
He's a boy. That's what he's doing. He's doing boy stuff. Let's see, Ranch Roundup update. We are still looking at the Ranch Roundup. Is going to happen here on the ranch June 26th, 27th, and 28th. 27th is the big shindig. 26th will be a live stream in front of a live studio audience. And then on the 28th, we are planning some fun stuff around the ranch for VIP ticket holders, and the farm store will be open as well. So even if you're not a VIP ticket holder, you can come and visit the farm store. The hotel is, what is it called? Towers?
Best Western Towers
Best Western Towers West, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All that information will be on our website once tickets go on sale.
Tickets are hopefully going to go on sale March 31st, but we might start to leak a little bit of information here and there during the live stream as we kind of get some stuff put together here. We really want to. Last year we put the tickets on sale way early, and we sold out of tickets. And then there was, a ton new subscribers that said, I never got a chance to buy tickets. So we're kind of trying to put tickets 90 days prior to the event, and we'll let them roll up until a certain day until we sell a certain amount of tickets, which we don't know how much that is. And
we kind of know how much it is. We have a range.
we don't want 1,000
And
people.
there's a few things that have to fall into place to get to our max number. We're not there.
We're not there yet.
We don't have the capacity to do your max number and my max number are significantly different, but we have to make some things happen so we can somewhere meet in the middle.
Right.
So tomorrow's morning agenda for us is actually some ranch roundup work.
Yep.
So
Steve there, Long Ash Cowboy, said I would prefer April 1st. We thought about starting to sell tickets on April 1st, but we figured everybody would think it was an April Fool's joke.
and we have March 31st is a Tuesday, and you conveniently put out videos on Tuesday.
Conveniently, yes, so I can actually start selling them on that night.
Tuesday, March 31st, when the video comes out, whatever time that happens, tickets will go live.
It'll probably be a video about the Ranch Roundup.
It probably will be.
Maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be a big old sale video. So, yeah. Sky King said that peacocks are very loud. Yes, they are, at times.
They're just during like breeding season.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's always in
The
the
old
spring.
one was always just
in the
hooting
spring.
and hollering.
Just
Really?
in the spring.
Oh. Zeke, have you thought about putting pivots up? Oh, we already answered that one, Zeke. Thank you very much. JB Well, do you think cows go through postpartum depression? I watch cows, a lot because that's what I got time to do, and I see cows. They obviously care about their calves. We know that, like they're bonded, right? And then eventually, at some point, they're like, get out, grow up, go away, right?
Yeah.
So that's the weaning process.
Yeah,
right?
but postpartum is.
You would know more about this than I would.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, we see changes in cows' behavior with calving, and so I mean, yeah, there's a hormonal change that happens.
Yeah, there is.
And so yeah, I mean, I think. I don't know if they get depressed, but like the nice cow will turn into a crazy person for a few weeks, and it's like some of them have like a time frame, like that she's super crazy for 2 weeks, and then she settles down. So obviously there's a hormonal reaction going on there. So I've had 3 kids, man. Those hormones are crazy.
I know, right? And
if men had to deal with just even the hormones that happens with pregnancy,
no, there's no way. No way at all. Brandon asked if we wean cows close to our house. Yeah, right over there. Yeah, really close to the house. So we definitely deal.
We don't
with
have
that.
any weaned calves now, though. I mean, we sold all of our calves in January. So
Yeah.
if you didn't see that video, go back to January.
Yeah, you know what's funny to me is, so I was looking at this the other day. The sales video that we did in 2017 did really good. Sales video in 2018 did really good. I put out a sales video for this year, and it really, it's not doing all that well. It kind of surprised me that
It did really well the first 48 hours.
Yeah, but for some reason it's just YouTube doesn't like it as much, I guess, because it's not as, I don't know. Maybe I made it too nice. Maybe if it's a little bit more, taking calves away thing, then it's a little more controversial, right? Maybe.
Something. What's going on with the podcast? Mark wants to know. Yeah, well, we're working on some things.
Yeah, we're kind of working on a different approach at the podcast. One of the things we realized with the podcast, and if you've watched the podcast, thank you very much. And we are planning on continuing with the podcast as long as I can keep on Erin's good side and not order too much spaghetti and 7-layer lasagna. Is that the podcast kind of became another live stream
Yeah.
without comments, without people there.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
so the podcast is kind of going through an identity crisis, and we're trying to figure out like what we want to do with it.
Right.
And we're also trying to figure out where to put it in the schedule, because a lot of the reason why like it doesn't get recorded is like we got crap to do, and
Yeah.
so we're trying to just figure out where to put it, and then also like we want to have it. You guys that watch the podcast really enjoy just the free-flowing conversation like this that we have, but
you can see that here.
yeah, you can see it here. And we want, along with, all the content that we put on OWL, like most of it is, there's some sort of educational component to it. So we want to bring some of that to it, but that also requires more production work and I don't know.
We need to get that producer up and running. That's what we need to do.
But we also we have differing opinions on what we want to do with the podcast, and we got to somehow compromise and figure out what we...
Yeah, we might have a Tuesday and Thursday podcast with Erin and Monday, Wednesday, Friday with me. Not that we're going to do it every day. Wow, why did I say that? That was just dumb.
We have a hard time
on my
doing it
part.
every other week. I mean, that unfortunately, I'm sorry that we have dropped the ball on the podcast, but like we say, like we're gonna take Lincoln to school Wednesday morning and we're gonna record it, and then something goes to crap and it does not happen. And we used to, when we first started the podcast, we do it a lot of times after the kids go to bed. With doing video podcasts, that's really a little bit more difficult to do at 10 o'clock at night when you have to look at us. So we're tired.
One thing I did like about the podcast before we switched to the video podcast was like it didn't matter. Like you could, show up in your underwear and record the podcast.
And we did that a lot of times. Like I was like, did you break it?
No, not yet.
Sometimes we get up really early before the kids got up and grab some coffee and like sit and record the podcast. Other times we do it really late at night, like after the kids went to bed. Also, Lincoln, the kids are all in a really bad sleep phase right now, and like we put them to bed and they all get up at least 7 times.
Any other excuses?
I mean, that's just our lives right now. It's not really an excuse. That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? I mean, the kids are horrible right now about staying in bed.
So, since we're putting it out there, Matt's right on top of it. If you want to be a producer, send your resume too. Actually, if you want to be a producer, if you want to be a website designer, feel free to shoot me.
We're not hiring.
No, but if somebody wants to do it for free, that's totally down with it. I'm fine with that. Mail@ourwyominglife.com.
You get what you pay for.
I know sometimes, but I get what I pay for when I do it too, and sometimes I wish I could fire myself. So yeah.
The moral of the story with the podcast is we want to provide good content for you guys, and have it be meaningful content with everything that we do.
Right.
So.
Right. So we're looking at some options where we can have guests, where we can actually have an educational component to the podcast. So that's the way I would like it.
Yeah, I'm fine with the educational thing. Guests, I would love to have guests. It's just super time consuming and tricky to coordinate everyone's schedules. Like the people that you guys enjoy seeing, it's hard to like nail
You
them.
realize you look like a pirate?
Yes, it's my
Kind
favorite
of have
shirt.
a pirate shirt on. Yeah. All righty, guys, we're a little bit over time, but thank you very much for hanging out with us this evening. What does this say? Quinn 8, 1 week do the live stream, 1 week do a podcast. I mean, that's an option. That could be a way to look at it.
I mean, we did the every other week live stream though, and everyone was always like, "Is it live stream week?"
Yeah, that was confusing to folks. Yeah. So, also, somebody asked about Gary. I think Michael Outdoors asked about Gary. Gary's doing well. He actually asked me the other day, when do I get to be on a live stream again? So, yeah.
It's
maybe
totally
we'll be able
easier
get
to
him.
like the people in our real lives. It's easy to get them here for a live stream.
Yeah.
All the other people that you guys want to see, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's 87 emails minimum to like.
Do you remember when we
Hammer it
we
up.
had Zach Johnson on with us, and like Zach and I went back and forth for
Forever.
trying to get the whole thing lined up and getting the timing worked out and everything
Yeah.
else. So yeah,
It's tricky. It's really tricky.
yeah, but
Easy 1913 says making content is harder than most know. It really is.
yeah,
Wouldn't you say?
yeah, but it's 100% worth it.
Yeah,
Guarantee it. So.
it is. It's just there's a lot of work behind the scenes, and we've shared some of that with you guys on the podcast and stuff, like what our weeks look like every week. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's a miracle to get us here on the couch.
Literally a minute before we start, we kind of come running up here, and I've obviously been putting stuff together, but just like you saw here in the beginning of the live stream, like everything's a learning curve, and everything, starting with new software and better software, I think, but just learning how to use it and how to make it the best for you guys is kind of what our main goal is. So when things don't work, it's frustrating because I feel like I'm letting somebody down or letting you guys down, but I know at the same time that this is the place to do it, right? Because I mean, nobody's going to kick me in the nads here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are super understanding, so.
Alrighty, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Be sure to visit our website, www.ourwyominglife.com. You can check out the beef jerky there. You can get signed up for our newsletter, which I would really like to see everybody do. We send out a newsletter every Monday, and I'm actually working on it now, or well, I was before we came up here. So thank you very much for hanging out with us. Of course, our moderators, Matt, Lori, William Dunn here with us. I did talk to Bill, the tractor man. He is still kind of wrapped up in the whole hospital things with a premature baby too. So there's, that's always issues. So he'll be back eventually.
Baby's doing fine though.
Baby's doing great. I think, it's just a premature baby thing. It's just how it works. But baby's doing really well. So thank you everybody for the super chats.
Thank you.
JB Weld and Steve and of course Dr. Dixon. Thank you very much for the super chats.
Owl One, I can't remember the name.
Owl ID.
Owl ID.
There you go.
Yes, thank you guys.
So thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time right here on Beyond the Ranch. Now I got to figure out how to shut this one off.
Did you forget the name of the channel?
No, I did not. But I was thinking ahead, and I was like, how do I shut this thing off now? Because that's one thing I really didn't practice. So we're just going to smash buttons until things happen.